Sir, for the note of introduction. Uh, Let me briefly introduce myself. I have been a medical teacher since 1986. Fortunately, that I was in an institution where there was a strong encouragement even at that year 1986 for teachers to uh, use ICT whatever little was available in those days. Therefore, for me, it has been a pretty long journey of um, experimentations over the years, and subsequently, over a period of time, whatever experiments I have done, I was able to interact with the industry, collaborate with the industry, and in subsequent years, bring out commercially viable products to the world. This is in brief. I work as a professor in the Department of Anatomy at St. John's Medical College. I am also fortunate that I am working in a visually strong subject where some of the most important R&D work could be done. With this brief background, let me move on to the an overview of what I have learned in this domain. As it stands today, if we want to know how we practiced medicine 5 years ago, read a textbook. If we want to know how we practiced medicine 2 years ago, read a journal. If we want to know how we practice medicine this month, go to a good medical conference. But if you want to know how we practice medicine now and in the future, well, the obvious choice is switch to e-learning. Basically, the current trends in healthcare education. Now, from here onwards, I am not going to talk entirely on medical education, healthcare education as a whole. That means it will include the entire gamut of communication, pharma, nursing, you name it, everything under the head healthcare communication. The first point we need to understand is even before you need to teach me, you need to reach me. Now, technology is the tool by which you will reach me. Now, that barrier, well, I could not reach you, is no more existing. First, we need to improve digital and e-social literacy among the faculty and audience. This has been a consistent observation I have been noticing amongst the users. Students learn best when they act as independent critical explorers within their disciplines. Online course has come to stay in a big way, but then it's appropriate in this forum to understand what do we mean by online course and how impactful it can be in healthcare education. Even up to 80% of the content can be delivered online. You can still define it as an online course. However, we need to be extremely careful in choosing courses that can be effectively delivered on an online platform, particularly because medicine is a skill-based science. Now, over the years, we have identified certain domains which can be done reasonably well on an online platform and supplemented with that 20% of skill-based teaching. Now, we are agreeing almost unanimously that the internet is the dominant infrastructure for knowledge. It is not only a container, but is also a platform for the exchange of knowledge. There are certain bodies which are catalyzing change probably in my opinion in the right direction. I have just given one example from the National Board of Examinations. Once bodies like that introduce online based evaluation and things like that, slowly the system falls into place. Students slowly take up the technology, teachers fall in line with the technology. I think this is a landmark achievement as far as India is concerned, where the national board, instead of having simple text based MCQs, they moved into pictorial based MCQs. Even there are certain subjects where it is running dominantly, but slowly other subjects are also falling in place. Now, basically what students want is, they don't want to be passive. They want to participate. They want independence to read what they want at a time convenient to them, at a place convenient to them. They want connectivity between themselves, with the teachers. They want socio-experimental learning. Now, this is probably the best thing that could have happened in education. Earlier, we thought internet is the ultimate in terms of revolution. I think socio-experimental learning is the next stage in evolution. They also want not only access to information, easy access to credible information that on net. I think that is where we as teachers will play a very, very important role. That's why I said credible means distilled information from an ocean of content, customized to their curricular requirements. Put in the blocks there. It can be any mode in which you can deliver it, that does not matter. But what students are looking at you as teachers or content providers is what kind of material is exactly required for them for their immediate goal, namely examinations. This is a slide which I have already talked about. By the word e-learning, I do not mean medical. It can be the entire gamut. You can see the whole list. Even lay public will be involved in e-learning. Medical students, allied students, research purposes, company to clients, healthcare workers, all stakeholders will come under this category. It can most importantly be doctor to patient. This is probably the best domain which you can exploit for educational purposes. When you look at the spectrum of material available through the internet platform, these are the popular topics across the world where you can participate and learn: public health, cancer, pregnancy and maternal health, how to take care of your baby, geriatric health care, and most importantly, lifestyles and health. But this is not what we are looking at. Well, public domain utility is a major area in e-learning. But even among the professionals, there are courses coming up which are, one, general, two, focused. These are some of the general topics which are playing a very dominant role in education. But there are also very, very focused topics like these, which are value addition to the professional's career. Like, for example, handling the neonate, interpreting the ECG, interpreting a blood smear, things like that, fundamentals of statistics, fundamentals of clinical trial. Now, courses like this delivered through an online platform build value to the career of that individual. However, I need to make it very clear that even with the advent of MOOCs and other online teaching systems, it hasn't yet completely caught up among the audiences for the primary reason that, well, technology available, delivery is available, the course is available, but the industry itself is yet to recognize that these are credible courses. You get this degree, you go to a nursing home and an hospital and say, I have acquired additional. The nursing home says it doesn't really have much value. Now, that part is still lagging behind. I think we all need to work as stakeholders in this venture and try to move this a little forward. This is probably the best business model in which entrepreneurs and first-time investors will be interested in. The human body is the most curious information box for the public. Courses, short courses, long courses for various body systems, lifestyle disorders. This is going to really be of a huge business potential. I mentioned the National Board of Exam. Some other bodies like the MCA has also made some changes in their policies. The Dental Council, Nursing Council, they are also trying to bring in e-learning step by step. Let me be cautious to use the word step by step. They are watching the reaction. They are seeing how the compliance is, because you can make a law but it may not work. For example, they said a computer should be there in all the medical colleges, digital libraries must be there. But then I have seen that it is not working primarily because, as you will see in the subsequent slides, content is lacking. There is no content. Everybody, but you ask that by as a part of the inspection, you must have computers. They have some of the best libraries, digital libraries, but absolutely no content. That is where we have to play a role in developing content. That's why I put this key. Content is the key. What we expected is not happening. We had expected that by now the publishing companies would have made a big jump into this business and they would have dominated the scene. Unfortunately, for reasons which I do not know, I am an academician, this has not happened. It still remains a domain of the software industry. But however, I feel this may probably be some of the reasons why the publishing world is cautious. And buying this same material from the West is exorbitant. The prices, I have purchased some of the softwares. I know the price. I can declare it is by and large it is not affordable for a student. Maybe at an institutional level it may be possible. Therefore, over a period of years we are beginning to see something new. Don't wait till the heavens and the holy waters flow into your institution and then you start grand e-learnings programs. It's the other way around. Even if you have a laptop, let's begin with something. Let's evolve over a period of time. And that's in principle what is a rapid e-learning. Begin with whatever constraints you have. Try to do something. And that's exactly what I have done since 1986. That has resulted me in getting 2 national awards and 2 or 3 commercial partnerships. When I did it in 1986, DOS was the only system available. And tell me, what can you do in DOS in those days? I can show you examples of how we could exploit DOS with just 4 colors and how we could make some small graphics about the human body. Well, it is possible. All that is, if you have the will, you can find this. Then suddenly, by the time Windows came, we were already ready to exploit the technology. That's what I'm trying to say. But there are some bigger projects across the world that has occurred. Here is this University of Utah in 1992. They called all the professors of respective subjects and they all sat together and found out for an average MBBS or an MD curriculum, I think there they call it as MD program, they all said, pull up all the images you need for a curriculum, medical curriculum. They all sat together and they brought out 34,000 images and said this is more than enough for, acting as an image database on which you can derive derivative products. Now this is the next thing. Until recently, we were made to believe, because we did not experiment, that skill-based learning cannot be done through the e-learning mode, which is wrong. It is now to a certain extent possible that even certain amount of skill-based learning can be done through the technology mode. For example, we have electronic mannequins, we have virtual patients and things like that. At least, if not actual practice of skills, even that is possible. The technology, to the best of my knowledge and experience, is available where it can make the student or the user to take clinical decisions in a virtual controlled environment. I think this is the biggest gift technology could have given to medicine or healthcare in general. In fact, we need to take a lot of lessons from the aviation industry, because there the investments are huge and the pilot is not allowed to even touch the aircraft till he goes through, say, I'm just giving a number, 200 hours of virtual training on a simulator. We don't do it on humans because I do not know the exact reason, maybe the amount of investment or thing, but I think the primary reason is attitude. We still do not consider human beings as more valuable than aircrafts. This is one of the recent experiments I have done in this territory of flipped classrooms. Members in the audience may already be familiar with the Khan Academy model. I have only attempted it in the medical domain and the results are excellent. Basically what I have done is, the lecture that I need to give for my students is already available. I have a learning management system in my institution. It is already available to them 48 hours in advance. The student interest in the topic has gone up tremendously, because otherwise they were thinking that it is being done as a ritual for the sake of completing the portion and for the sake of examinations. But suddenly they find that what they are learning today is of immediate relevance, and they are finding clinical videos being put up and things like that. To that extent, I have succeeded. There are technical glitches. That is a major problem. Sometimes what happens, the learning management system collapses when 60 students are attacking the video download at the same time. There are some problems, but I think these are all easily, we can solve these problems. In spirit, we have moved forward. Maybe we are lagging behind a little bit in action, but I think that can also be solved. As I move towards conclusion of my opinions, I am beginning to feel that e-learning is not a one-man show. It is going to be a marriage between three domains, three contributors. Primarily, you must have the management behind you to support you, or if not the management, there should be some kind of a tie-up with an industry or the university or somebody who will say, come on, you do it, we are with you. I am fortunate that the university where I am affiliated is behind me, and they are saying, come on doctor, let's do it. I have done some experiments and evaluation and things like that. What I showed you in DNB was one example, but then we have gone into more detailed experimentation and other areas of evaluation, because we are having serious problems in evaluation. We want to shift a certain percentage of the evaluation into online mode. Over a period of time, I think I'm very close to achieving that. Publishing companies will be used for this thing, and consortium approach. One institution alone cannot do. We need a group of institutions to sit together to move this forwards. This was my best experiment in the commercial side after so many years. I worked as the academic director of this company in Hyderabad. We were, as I told you earlier, students want highly distilled content precisely the way they want it at the fingertips, at the press of a button. So if I want a particular item, some detail, the student, I cannot ask him to run through 1 hour of a lecture and then pick up the ideas from that. I need to go highly granular, and I feel e-learning is the best way to deliver precise content in a highly granular form. These are some of the subheadings in which we have worked out a learning management system, and currently this is commercially available. I have mentioned this. The important point I have said, industry recognition of MOOCs is yet to come. Although MOOCs is running, courses are running, candidates are getting the courses, industry is yet to accept it as a recognizable format. Thank you. These were some of my observations. I will be available for any detailed discussion.